A person projected on the screen in front of you. Is this the real thing, or is it 3D CG? Toei Zukun Research Institute, which has a film production company as its mother, is developing a digital human that is so realistic that you can't help but have such an impression. With the advent of Web 3, the presence of this digital human will grow even more. This time, we interviewed Mr. Kazuhiko Mino, the chief director who leads the research and development of digital humans. History of digital human development by Toei. First of all, please tell us about the Toei Zukun Research Institute. Mino, the Toei Zukun Institute was established in 2010 and is an organization of Toei. In the Toei Digital Center building, where we are moving in, post-production work after filming can be done consistently, and the Toei Zukun Research Institute is also positioned as a research institute of the Digital Center. Our goal is to combine computer graphics with various technologies to change the traditional video production workflow. In recent years, we have put up a new concept of designing the future of content, and we are thinking of throwing a stir in the world by combining digital humans, virtual production, and virtual space technology. At the Toei Zukun Research Institute, we are working to revive past greats with digital human technology, aiming for new visual expression. Currently, as of August 2022, we are trying to revive the famous actor Yusaku Matsuda, and in addition to the conventional reproduction method by digital artists, we will create a digital human with an approach that combines technology such as shape and voice restoration by AI. Is advancing. Speaking of 2010, the movie Avatar was just released, and people were once again fascinated by the evolution and possibilities of CG. I agree. Since its establishment in 2010, Toei Zukun Research Institute has started a service related to the movement of CG characters that appear in games and commercials, triggered by the introduction of an early motion capture system. I was involved in more and more projects dealing with CG characters. Moving CG characters doesn't just require an animator, it also requires technical know-how on how to move them. When did the recognition of the service start to increase in earnest? Around 2016, when individual creators started posting realistic digital humans and CG characters on the web. A typical example is Seiya, a high school girl model, and with Seiya as a trigger, projects that utilize digital humans, mainly in entertainment, are rapidly increasing in Japan. Since our founding, we have been working mainly on the movement and expression of CG characters. We started working on the actual production. In 2018, we officially announced the Digital Human Project, and have been participating in various works and projects to date. Challenges beyond the uncanny valley. I saw this facility on your website, but what is it? This is the high-precision capture system light stage developed by USC University ICT, Institute for Creative Technologies. As you can see, the intensity and angle of the numerous lights installed in a celestial sphere can be adjusted, so we shoot with multiple cameras while controlling them. By doing so, not only the shape, but also the texture of the skin can be reproduced with high definition. It was newly introduced with the announcement of the Digital Human Project in 2018. Here's a scan of me as a sample. In fact, there are a lot of these photos taken. And here is the scan data created based on this photo. And here is the final CG data. This is amazing. You can feel that the technology has evolved so far, such as the feeling of the skin. Of course, when it comes to completely surpassing the uncanny valley, especially when it comes to moving this, the current situation is still difficult. For example, even in Hollywood blockbusters released in recent years, it seems that there were many audiences who felt uncomfortable with digital humans. The reality is that even if we invest a considerable amount of resources in units of several years to continue development, we still feel that way. In the case of still images, the technology has progressed to a level where there is no sense of incongruity even now, but when you try to move it, the difficulty rises at once. Furthermore, the digital twin, which is a copy of a real person, is even more difficult. Even when you say hello, not only the shape of your face when you say ko or n, but also the timing of speaking and the facial expressions between words must be the same as those of a real person. Images have evolved dramatically through deep learning, but video still has a high hurdle. Although there are plenty of ideas about what can be done, the realization of those ideas is yet to come. Many ideas are being tested by trial and error, such as learning movements and linking them with lines. Nonetheless, natural language processing and speech synthesis have not made steady progress in fields such as adding filler words such as and later, and learning from videos to read the emotions of the person you are talking to and change the way you use them. Progressing. After participating in major dramas for several years. Mino-san, how did you get your current job? Originally, I worked at Link's Digiworks Company, Limited of the Imagica Group for about 10 years, and was engaged in motion capture and general computer graphics. In particular, I was involved in tasks such as technical direction and supervision for 3D CG characters. A few years after I became independent, I was invited to work on the production of NHK's special tiger drama Saka no Yui no Kumo, and worked as a CG supervisor for several years. It's a very famous work. Counting from the planning stage, Saka no Yui no Kumo took nearly 10 years to produce, and it was an extraordinary masterpiece that required location shoots in various locations over the course of several years. This work is based on the Russo-Japanese War, and CG is used to express naval battles in the Battle of Tsushima, and land battles in mainland China. The CG production of the land battle expression will be centered on the Korean production where the person who served as the VFX supervisor of the movie Brotherhood belongs, and I will also be responsible for the CG related to the land battle on the Japanese side. I have been working on the production for several years. It was towards the end of the production period that I was invited to the Toei Zukun Institute. The research institute was finally established in 2010, and I myself have been a member since 2011. The point of utilization other than entertainment is storytelling. I think that digital human technology is currently being used in the entertainment field. What other usage scenarios can you think of? In recent years, DX has become a hot topic, and I would like to make digital humans appear in various scenes of daily life. Specifically, we are creating an AI digital human platform that combines the technology of the appearance of a digital human with artificial intelligence on the inside, and have begun working to make it appear in reception desks and educational content, and indeed in the Metaverse. Although the research fields of digital humans are divided into pursuit in entertainment and finding the possibility of utilization in everyday life, there is a wide crossover between these two fields. If it's just an idea to combine artificial intelligence and CG characters, it should be left to venture companies and startups. After all, since Toei is doing it, it should be possible to incorporate entertainment there. I believe that the key point in the future is to use storytelling to incorporate surprises and comfort into everyday life. I'm here. It seems to be a relationship similar to the development of F1 and production cars in automakers. I agree. Recently, I often interact with people from other industries, and the more I talk to them, the more I feel their expectations for storytelling. In fact, I've been having more discussions with innovation and DX-related teams at major companies. I hear that digital humans have the advantage of not having the possibility to change their attitude depending on the person, and being able to easily consult with others about things that are difficult to discuss. On the other hand, the question remains as to whether it is necessary to use digital humans. If a digital human is the best situation, of course it should be used, but depending on the situation, a deformed character may be more suitable, so I hope to continue developing it in a way that fits the purpose. That said, I don't think there are many situations where digital humans can be used. In particular, the use of a digital twin, which is a copy of oneself, has the potential to expand the experiences that have been performed by real people. You will have more opportunities to experience it, and you may be able to contribute to a more fulfilling life. Content is the key to popularizing digital humans. What will be the key to the spread of digital humans in the future? Mino, I think it's transversal content that isn't bound by conventional media. I am confident that this will not be limited to the field of entertainment, but will be practiced more and more in areas closer to everyday life. The individual technologies are starting to come together, and I have a feeling that, depending on the combination, it will be possible to create a completely different experience than before. Will it be a different experience from games, movies, and anime? You could say it's completely different, or you could say it's somewhere in between. For example, television tends to be talked about as the opposite of virtual space, AR, VR, and the Metaverse, but I personally think that the potential of a television in every household is still great. By combining cutting-edge technology with television, we can create a next-generation viewing style. I feel that such ideas will become even more important in the future. Continuing social implementation of digital humans seems to be the key to expanding output methods flexibly in response to changes from mass media to social media and personal media. As far as the metaverse is concerned, there is a lot of trial and error in how to establish economic efficiency, but I think one of the key words is interactivity. With the one-way way of thinking so far, the field will change, and the key is whether or not content that sublimates this will be created. There is a demand for a platform that allows users to generate new creative ideas. 5 years, 10 years from now, more and more content will be developed on that platform. That said, I don't think that the value of traditional methods of expression, such as movies, will be replaced, so I think the key point will be how well we can combine the strengths of each. From a technology perspective, I would like to skillfully combine the technology for creating digital humans with the virtual space technology Metaverse and XR. How to create the voice of a digital human. By the way, what is the voice of a digital human? It has become clear that the quality of speech synthesis technology has also improved considerably. There are various approaches, and we are actively collaborating with companies and universities on voice models. However, we have a history of creating the quality that we have today by working to solve the problems we face, whether it be our appearance, our inner self, or our voice. Increase. 10 years ago, it was a race to improve accuracy by thoroughly investigating each elemental technology. However, now we have various elemental technologies, and how to combine them is important, and we are taking on the challenge of how to incorporate entertainment elements on top of that to increase value. There are still many issues, and the current situation is that there are a wide variety of things such as design and UI, as well as technical aspects. In the future, we predict that the portrait rights of digital humans will be rapidly improved. Whether or not we create a fictitious person and handle the likeness rights. In addition, for example, when an actor in a movie is made into a digital human and made to stand in the city as a promotion, the portrait rights of the office and the person themselves are also involved, so the improvement of the rights issue is the most important issue to be addressed in the next few years. Depending on how you look at it, it seems like there will be more opportunities for actors who actually exist. If he stands in the city as a digital human, you can say that he is no longer tied to devices. I think so. The key to that is CG technology, and as long as it is developed with 3D data, it can be diverted to 2D content, XR content, and the metaverse, regardless of device. Viewing devices continue to evolve to the point where holograms are no longer a pipe dream. It wouldn't be strange if the time came when a famous actor popped up in the city and gave directions. The source of innovation lies in open source. Many companies, including startups, that have strengths in tech are working on digital humans. In what ways can Toei Zukun Research Institute contribute to the industry? Certainly, there must be many other companies that have technological capabilities related to digital humans. However, we have drawn a clear line between us and other companies in terms of presentation and direction, including the management of how to handle it. For example, there are various companies, such as companies that have strengths in natural language processing, companies that use it in English education, and companies that are strong in the advertising field. As each company expands its areas of expertise, ideas for utilizing digital humans will spread and spread. First of all, the most important thing is to make efforts to popularize it. We are closely monitoring trends in the metaverse. I think that technology trends have ups and downs, but I think they are compatible with digital humans. In the world of technology, the source of innovation is the movement to improve performance through open source and engineers' contributions to it. Is there a similar movement in the film industry? It's very active there. Completely different from 10 years ago, AI tools that became famous for some kind of deepfake are now open source, so of course we can use them. Even the software we use to create CG can't fight the open source wave. With the rapid emergence of high-quality software, even individual creators and engineers are now able to create highly accurate video and XR content. Creating content on the metaverse is now commonplace. In the future, users will create their own worlds on the metaverse, creating a foundation for interactive content. Furthermore, with the combination of blockchain technology, there is a high possibility that the economics of the metaverse will become even more common, and the relationship between companies and individuals will change significantly. I want to keep making things that customers can enjoy. Please tell us your frank impression of the rapid rise in the topic of the metaverse these days. Personally, I thought of metaverse as a sort of buzzword and didn't pay much attention to it. If anything, rather than the metaverse itself, I am paying a lot of attention to the evolution of virtual space technology in general. Currently, many individuals and companies are starting to work on various virtual space technologies in the form of the corona disaster. At the heart of that approach is the fusion of the real and the virtual, in other words, the idea of using the power of the virtual to scale up real content. The metaverse is positioned as one of these virtual expression technologies. However, Arkansas and other XR technologies have an image that is generally easier to accept so far, and the spread speed may be faster. For example, when you visit a baseball field, soccer stadium, or shopping mall, you can create extra experience content by incorporating XR technology. In addition, users can use the metaverse even after returning home to enjoy the continuation of entertainment, and etc. Companies can also utilize the information obtained there to improve the customer experience value. Finally, please tell us what you are particularly excited about at your current job, where various possibilities are expanding. When I was young, I could say that my motivation was to be involved in big titles such as movies and dramas. I was happy that my family and friends could see my work. However, now that I've gotten older, I've come to think that I want to create works that I'm satisfied with regardless of the size of the work, things that I genuinely feel good about, and things that can make a lot of people smile. Rice Field. In the early days of my career, I spent 24 hours at my desk facing CG software and working hard on video production. Want to spend from the planning and development of content such as exhibitions, events, theme parks, and complex facilities, to the creation of new media that is not bound by conventional formats. It would be great if we could contribute even a little.